this mega telecast from CNN News 18 Federal Bank Prime Time Studio. And like I said, the next big story, the next big focus right here on CNN News 18. The Union Cabinet of Modi Sarkar 3.0 sends out some very important messages, and prime amongst them is continuity and stability. Despite the fact this is a coalition government and despite the possibility of several pulls and pressures from allies, we see how the Prime Minister has reposed faith in the team from his previous administration. The fact that the big ministries, Home, Defence, Finance, External Affairs, Road Transport and Highways and also Railways have not seen change sends out a message that is reassuring. And while the allies have been accommodated and accommodated well as per their own understanding, and the fact that performers have been rewarded too. That said, we've also seen a few changes in the new cabinet. Though the opposition today firmly believes that the allies have been given weak ministries. Some have indicated this may just be a self-goal for the Bharatiya Janata Party, given that the allies will not succumb to this dominance for long. With 11 ministries from a non-BJP alliance partners, 11 of those ministers that are now going to be part of the cabinet. What are the signs this cabinet is sending out? Is it all but change, and can that be a problem, or is it sign of pure continuity? We'll try and find out and take it up with our experts. But first, let's quickly take a look at the tasks cut out for Modi 3.0 cabinet, the key ministries and their top priorities in the next few months. Let's quickly break down the details. Remember, we have the big names already, but what's going to be their key agenda? The big posts have been retained by Amit Shah, Rajnath Singh, Nirmala Sitharaman, S. Jaishankar. Let's find out what the focus areas will be for the next few months. Implementation of new crime laws as for the Home Minister, who continues with his portfolio once again. The ones the centre said will be in effect from the 1st of July will be on immediate agenda. Also, assembly elections in Jammu and Kashmir, and now more so given the kind of voter turnout we've seen come out from the valley. Also, decision on NPR along with the census. That's another an area of concern that the Modi government is going to be looking at very closely in the next few months. As for S. Jaishankar, let's quickly talk about the External Affairs Minister. S. Jaishankar, he continues as the EAM. The focus areas will be, of course, India's attendance at the Ukraine peace meet. Remember, this is scheduled for June 15th and 16th. If not at the highest level, what can be the participation we will see? Participation in the G7 meeting is up next, which is right before the peace meeting. And then comes, of course, relationship with neighbors, especially Pakistan, given the comments that have been coming in from the top leadership and the so-called gestures of peace that have come to fore as well. How is the Modi government going to deal with all that? That's going to be up next for the External Affairs Minister. As for the Finance Minister, let's quickly talk about Nirmala Sitharaman. She's retained her ministry for a second time. Her focus areas in the next few months will be finalizing the 2024-25 budget. That's the big thing we're looking out for next, which is not too far away. Will there be any major changes, especially for the middle class or in terms of spending pattern of the government? Also, as far as maintaining balance between growth momentum and sticky inflation is concerned, that's going to be key. Generation of employment is going to be on the agenda. And lastly, busy legislative agenda with a number of bills in the drafting board. That is also something that's going to be key as far as the Finance Ministry is concerned. Now, quickly moving on to Defence Ministry. A very important portfolio retained by Rajnath Singh. Once again, some of the focus areas are going to be boosting preparedness along LAC in the backdrop of a continuing standoff with China. Review of the Agnipath scheme. Why is this important? Because it's being speculated that this is going to be asked by the allies like JDU. And then comes creation of theatre commands, of course, which has already been on the cards for the Defence Ministry since a while. Let's talk about another important ministry. This is the Agriculture Ministry. It's going to be headed by Shivraj Singh Chauhan. Now, the key focus area will be release of PM Kisan installment. We've seen on the first very day a decision that's been taken in that direction. Review of MSP periodically is also going to be on the agenda. Pro-agricultural sector policies. Remember, in his tenure as the Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh, the state witnessed a sharp rise in agricultural production. So that's going to hold key for the next 5 years. And there's been a lot of thinking as far as making him in charge of this particular ministry is concerned. So that's what's going to be looked at by some of these top mantris of Modi 3.0. Let's now talk about some of the key portfolios that the allies got. Since the big contention being raised by the opposition is that they haven't been given their due. TDP's Ram Mohan Naidu, remember, gets Civil Aviation Ministry. So that's the first big name. Another young minister in the Modi cabinet. He's taken over from Jyotiraditya Scindia, who's now Telecom Minister. TDP, remember, was given responsibility of civil aviation in Modi 1.2 as well in 2014 before it parted ways in 2018. So that's the first big name. Kiala of the BJP, JDS chief. HD Kumaraswamy gets steel and heavy industries, another very important portfolio. The Mandya winner, who's been made in charge of this ministry. Key JDU ally of the BJP. Let's move on to Lallan Singh. Let's talk about Lallan Singh. Of course, somebody that it was almost a given deal that he's going to be entrusted with an important portfolio. He's been given Panchayati Raj and Fisheries. He's taken over from Giriraj Singh and Parshottam Rupala, and he's going to be in charge of this ministry. So another key ministry going to one of the allies of the Bharatiya Janata Party. Let's talk about Jitan Ram Manjhi of the HAM. He's been given the MSME portfolio, micro, small and medium enterprises. And he's going to play a key role as far as this portfolio is concerned. Let's now talk about another interesting name, LJP's Chirag Paswan. He's been handed over the food processing portfolio. Given that he's brought 5 Lok Sabha seats to the table, this is the reward that's been in place for him. And another key ally, Jayant Chaudhary, who's been made in charge, the RLD chief, who's been made in charge of MOS in skill development and education ministries. His party managed 2 wins in Lok Sabha elections, and so he's been made an MOS. And there are others like Shinde Sena as well, who've been given an MOS berth. The party's been given an MOS berth, so on and so forth. It's totaled up to 11 for the BJP allies. These are allies of the Bharatiya Janata Party, part of the NDA, and a total of 11 that's gone in their kitty. But there is an opposition that continues to attack the Bharatiya Janata Party over keeping the big ministries to itself and treating the allies unfairly. What is the opposition saying? Let's quickly break down the 2 versions coming to light as well. The opposition has slammed the Bharatiya Janata Party, says the allies are dissatisfied with the portfolios. That's been said by Sanjay Raut, as opposed to what the NDA continues to maintain, that the opposition has no constructive thought. Their only agenda is to defame the Bharatiya Janata Party, and that's why this kind of a reaction is coming in from the opposition, they say. So Sanjay Raut taking pot shots. He says allies got Junjuna, which translates to toy. They've really not been given any of the important portfolios. BJP hitting back. Shehzad Poonawala says that it was the INDI bloc which treated its allies unfairly, so they're really not in a position to take these kind of jibes at the Bharatiya Janata Party, and they've been given their due as opposed to what the opposition has been saying. Let's now talk about Abhishek Manu Singhvi, another important voice in the opposition camp, says the BJP has kept all the top posts. It doesn't want the government to say. He's in a sense trying to claim that this is perhaps a self-goal for the Bharatiya Janata Party, to which TDP minister, now we've been speaking of the portfolio that Ram Mohan Naidu has been entrusted with, which is that of Civil Aviation Ministry. He says he's ready to work in the ministry allotted. So as opposed to what the opposition is maintaining, that there's a lot of unhappiness in the allies of the BJP. Here's the man himself from the TDP who says, we're happy, we're going to work with the Modi government. So that's the kind of reaction coming in, which now brings us to the big question. The BJP has, though, retained big positions, big posts. The opposition has come out to mock today. All through today, we've heard it from the opposition that the allies have been sidelined. Now, the BJP says this is continuity and experience, and that's what's been shown in the kind of pick that the Bharatiya Janata Party or the Prime Minister has made. That, in a sense, seems to have irked the opposition. That's the big question that we're going to take forward with our experts this evening. But let's quickly hear it from both the sides as well.
ये उधार की सत्ता है, नरेंद्र मोदी की सत्ता है, ये उधार की सत्ता है। जब तक नीतीश कुमार और चंद्रा बाबू की मेहरबानी रहेगी तब तक ये सत्ता पे बैठे, ये खुद की सत्ता नहीं बनाएगा।
The whole idea was to coordinate with the other ministries, have good relations with all of them, and take complete support from the NDA and do best in all departments. So as a central minister with the civil aviation, I also have the responsibility of being a representative of Andhra Pradesh within the cabinet.
उनका काम ही इस तरह की चीज़ें कहना, उन लोगों का हमेशा कोई कंस्ट्रक्टिव सोच नहीं रही है, हमेशा एक दूसरी सोच के साथ काम किए हैं।
Let's quickly open this up on Plain Speak this evening. We have Vashpreet Khadial, spokesperson of the Congress, along with Anup Kumar, Bugiri, spokesperson of the TDP. Also with us is Professor Sanjay Kumar, cephalogist and co-director of CSDAS. But I want to quickly begin my first question with Syed Zafar Islam, national spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party. A good evening to all of you. Mr. Zafar Islam, what would you say today? Because the opposition comes out to now suggest that there are no lessons that have been learned essentially given the mandate 2024. This is not Modi 2.0, this is Modi 3.0, but the mandate that's come in favor of the Bharatiya Janata Party has not reflected in the kind of portfolio allocation that's been seen.
I mean, I don't know what exactly they meant. It was NDA 1, NDA 2, NDA 3 under the leadership of the Honorable Prime Minister. He is the architect of NDA 1, he is the architect of NDA 2, he is the architect of NDA 3, and he is leading from the front with the support, with the confidence, with full flexibility given by the alliance partner. Alliance partner has given unconditional support to him because there are three objectives which every alliance partner wants to pursue, which is the agenda which has been set by the Honorable Prime Minister before the term ends of Modi 2 or NDA 2. So the 100 days agenda, 125 days agenda have been fixed with the active participation of all the alliance partners and the concerned ministry and the minister who was spearheading the setting up the agenda.
Okay.
So everyone has to discharge their responsibility. They exactly know what needs to be done, what needs to be delivered, because it has been discussed, deliberated with the Honorable Prime Minister who is leading from the front. So if people are saying about the portfolio, I think they need to worry about their own situation and sitting in isolation. That's why they are making this kind of a statement, because alliance partners are happy. They have not asked for any particular ministry. They have not set any condition. It was an unconditional support. Prime Minister has chosen for continuity and the skill set available within the NDA team, and he has given the responsibility to each and every individual who can potentially discharge those responsibilities.
Okay.
Some
So everybody is happy sailing in the same boat?
Have been inducted.
Everybody is happy sailing in the same
you
boat,
have
and
it,
that's
you
what's
don't have
irked the opposition is what you're saying. What they are saying, interestingly, Mr. Zafar Islam, that it's...
Let me tell you.
It's not 303, it's 240 this time. So it all comes down to the number. If it's not 303, if it's not 400 par as was claimed by the Prime Minister, then why are we seeing maximum representation from the Bharatiya Janata Party? That's what they're saying, to simply put it.
I think there are some evil eyes eyeing our paradise, but they know for sure whatever agenda they have, they will not succeed.
Okay.
It's a strong government governed by or led by the Honorable Prime Minister with the active support and confidence of all the alliance partners. We want to pursue the agenda which has been decided and announced by the Honorable Prime Minister prior to the election. Today the time where everybody is expecting for us to introduce those ideas and agenda which has been set earlier.
Okay.
We are not overly concerned what they are speaking. Angur to khatte hote hi hai. So let them speak what they feel.
Angur to khatte hote hi.
It is for them to decide whether...
How will you respond to
it is for them to decide, because they are sitting outside.
Well, the first...
You don't have the numbers.
We are driving together.
Let's ask
we
the
have
Congress.
one strong family.
Let's ask the Congress, sir. You don't have the numbers. The BJP has the numbers, of course, with the allies, and they're comfortably seated. There are no issues, nothing that needs to be ironed out, and that can be reflected in the picture that's emerging out of Andhra Pradesh as well. All's well, and that's what's irking the opposition.
Well, a double-engine train crashed before reaching the station. the wagons started colliding in among itself. Then the passengers started fighting. Some started pulling the chain of the double-engine train so that it does not reach the station. You see, the JJP left them, the AIADMK left them, the Samta Party left them, the SAD left them, SAD Seyukt left them. And Mr. Modi, since the 4th of June, has not been able to sleep for the simple reason he's aware that Mr. Kumar has changed alliances 6 times. If he can do it 6 times, why not the 7th time? And then Mr. Naidu, back in the day, was an ally of the Bharatiya Janata Party, but he called it quits because they did not give special status to his state. And if they could not do it in 10 years, can they do it in the next coming years? Number 2, one ally also asked for agriculture ministry. Other ally also asked for agriculture ministry. It was so much in demand, but they gave it to one of their own. And then,
but that seems to have settled with the allies too. Nobody's come out even once to say in public domain that we'd asked for a certain something and we've been given something else. Both for the JDU and the TDP, it's one cabinet berth, one MOS berth, and they're quite happy with it, it seems.
Well, when the knives come out, they come out in silence, and they have come out. And very soon you'll see the tug of war that is there between the Bharatiya Janata Party's Kamal is in between. Mr. Naidu is pulling it from the other side, and Mr. Kumar is pulling it from the other side. And Kamal ki pattiyan na jhad jaye is Kamal all concerned about because you know they are all pulling it. And number 2, the simple fact here is that their allies have already started questioning their schemes. We have seen one ally questioned Agniveer. Is the Bharatiya Janata Party ready to do with Agniveer? Then Uniform Civil Code. Then will you give them special funds, special status? If you start granting special status,
Arshpreet, we can keep talking about the boats, the engine of the train. We can keep talking about the Lotus, but I think it will be fair to go to Mr. Anup Kumar because he's in the best position to speak for the TDP. Let's hear it from him. We've already heard it from our new Civil Aviation Minister. He says, I'm very happy to be working in this ministry and I will continue to put my best front forward. Anup ji, you know, what is it that you make of the overall picture? Because we're seeing tomorrow, it's going to be a grand occasion in Andhra Pradesh. The NDA alliance looks strong. There is also a formula that we seem to come across, which is about 19-20 for the TDP. The Jan Sena will get anywhere between 3 to 4 berths and 2 for the Bharatiya Janata Party, and everything's well in Andhra Pradesh, in the national capital. And that's what the minister is also saying. Mr. Naidu is also saying. Do you think the opposition is right in saying that it's not going to be as beautiful a picture in the long run?
See, first of all, we have given unconditional support for the NDA government and we are very much happy and we are ready to work under the footprints of Mr. Narendra Modi in 3.0 government. That is clear. So it's a daydream of Congress and it's a daydream of India alliance parties stating that this is going to be fall and blah, blah, blah. See here, if you throw some light on the cabinet in 1.0, 2.0, so we strongly believe that it's a continuity and the people like Amit Shah have a hands-on experience on Home Minister and Mr. Rajnath Singh have a hands-on experience on Defense Ministry, Nirmala Sitharaman and Finance Ministry. And simultaneously, if you come to the civil aviation, it's not only the first time that southern states got a civil aviation.
Yes.
From Andhra Pradesh itself. In 77-78, we got Kutta Raghuramaiah, he was a cabinet minister in civil aviation. Ashok Gajapati Raju in Modi 1.0. In 2014 to 18, he was a civil aviation minister. Now Ramo Naidu from Srikakulam, now he is a civil aviation cabinet minister.
But that said, Anupji, you're talking about 2014 to 2018, and that's where the opposition criticism is also coming in from. That 2018, TDP was compelled to part ways from the Bharatiya Janata Party and they had a demand in place which remain unfulfilled. What are the odds that that may not reoccur is what the opposition is asking and warning the BJP of.
See, it's not like that. जैसे हमारे BJP के प्रवक्ता बोले थे अंगूर खट्टे होते तो खट्टे बात ही करते. So I absolutely agree with him. See, it is a newborn baby. After bifurcation, Andhra Pradesh is a newborn baby. Still, we are a project running. Bogavaram Airport is running. We have a Vijayawada International Airport. We have a Tirupati International Airport. Once we have a corridor from Vijayawada, we have a corridor from Srikakulam. So we have a lot to develop over there. So obviously, we are very much happy by bucketing a civil aviation in our pocket. So definitely we'll work together with all the ministers as Rammohan Naidu said. So it is a very good and friendly government and we'll show the development for both Andhra Pradesh simultaneously in India.
While it's the job of the opposition, to keep throwing these kind of surprises or rather attacks at the ruling dispensation, Mr. Sanjay Kumar, what do you make of the overall picture? coming in. Let's also not forget the kind of expertise that's been put on the table as far as Modi 3.0 Sarkar is concerned. To give it to the opposition, yes, they have the right to do what they're doing, but there are 7 chief ministers who find a place in the cabinet of Modi 3.0. And let's not, try to downplay that. The kind of expertise they're going to bring to the table is going to show a difference, don't you think?
Yes, I think as soon as the results were declared, there were a lot of speculation that Modi 3.0 is not going to be like Modi 3.1 and 3.2, because the whole idea was BJP will be under pressure, BJP will be dependent upon the allies, so allies will take plum positions. That was being discussed for the couple of days soon after the election verdict. But I think if you look at the ministry, I think Prime Minister Modi or BJP has given a clear signal that yes, BJP does not have a majority of its own. It's an NDA government, but there is no compromise on the agenda which BJP has been carrying forward for the last 10 years, the agenda of development. No compromise on the key portfolios. So I think a clear message has been sent out by Prime Minister Modi that yes, even though BJP may not have the numbers, but this is not a weak government. BJP is not weak in the cabinet, and Prime Minister Modi will not be ready to be under pulls and pressure, unreasonable pulls and pressure of the allies. So I think a clear signal has been sent out. How it unfolds in the coming months, that we can't say. But at this moment, I think it's a clear signal that no compromise on the developmental agenda which BJP has been carrying forward for the last 10 years.
Okay. All right. Ashpreet, would you want to quickly respond? Because everybody seems quite convinced at the manner in which this entire cabinet, this team stands firm. There is a vision in place. They've already spoken about a 100-day agenda. And also to talk about the larger messaging emerging from this election of mantris. The BJP is trying to today say that, look, we're a politically solid party and our ideological commitment remains intact, given the kind of reputations and the entire aspect of continuity. As far as that goes, we've seen it reflect in the people who find a place in the cabinet.
Well, first things first. I think we need to thank Mr. Nitin Gadkari, Mr. Yogi Adityanath, Mr. Shivraj Chauhan, Vasundhara Raje, Manolal Khattar, because all these people in the Bharatiya Janata Party did not want Mr. Modi to be the PM candidate. There is major infighting that is brewing there. And very soon you will see that the Bharatiya Janata Party's arrogance will be shattered. And second of all...
You're naming some of the current ministers, the new ministers.
Exactly. And I want to ask Mr.
No, if there is a big internal fight going on, then why have they been re-awarded?
Well, it's not about... If anyone should have been re-awarded, it should have been Smriti Irani ji, it should have been Anurag Thakur Sahab. Mr. Islam should tell why have they been removed from the cabinet. They could award Mr. Avneet Bittu, who is a turncoat who has just recently joined their party. Back in the day, he used to criticize the Bharatiya Janata Party left, right and centre. He lost the election. Despite that, he has been made a minister. But Anurag Thakur ji won his seat. Despite that, he has been removed from the ministry. Why did you do that? And Ms. Irani has been removed. Why did you do that? And number 3, the Bharatiya Janata Party has not been able to digest its food because it does not have the majority. And there are many diagrams coming in wherein the BJP is hanging through the cliff. And the only support that it has is of the TDP and of the JDU. And I think this alliance, which is loosely stitched, is bound to collapse, is very soon bound to collapse. And you will see in the coming days. It won't even last for a couple of months. Before only, the Bharatiya Janata Party's non-democratic alliance will come to collapse. And my only concern with the Bharatiya Janata Party is that for the last 10 years, you never said NDA. You never said even BJP Sarkar. You used to say Modi Sarkar. Now that you're having to rely upon your allies, you have learned to respect them. You have learned to give them importance. You have learned to put them on the table, because otherwise, Mr. Modi used to be sitting in the middle of the table. Nobody used to sit around him. Everybody used to sit in front of him. Now the picture has changed, and the Bharatiya Janata Party knows
but what I began with, though, Ashpreet, is the fact that the opposition came out with a narrative that the BJP is going to be compelled to cede key portfolios. That narrative, remember, stands completely debunked. It stands effectively countered. That's what I began with. But to take your question to Mr. Zafar Islam, the choices that have been made are being questioned. Though we have the Congress spokesperson who comes out to say that this is important so that the allies are also given as much respect and they're trusted as much as far as decision making going forward is concerned. But questions being asked on certain other decisions, like dropping Smriti Irani, for example, though she did lose from Amethi, but Anurag Thakur, there are those whose name hasn't featured. I don't know why the Congress is interested in understanding that, but quickly respond to Ashpreet, please.
Infighting.
There's an infighting. He's saying there's an infighting. People in the cabinet, part of the cabinet, are actually against the Prime Minister.
Allow me to speak. एक कहावत है बहुत हिंदी में, बेगानी शादी में अब्दुल्ला दीवाना. Hope he must have heard. I'm sure that everyone has heard here. I think they have no role to play here, and they are unnecessarily overexcited. They have been slapped clearly by all the alliance partners. They were trying their best, trying to offer X, Y, Z. But it's one family, India family. We have agenda where our focus is nation first, policy we are following. We have to prioritize everything which works for our nation, which is good for our nation, which safeguards the interests of the common man on the street. So their concern is that why families are not been safeguarded, the interests of the family is not been safeguarded. You do that when you get the opportunity. We are happy looking after the interests of the common man. We are happy to prioritize our nation and take care of the nation's requirement as our first priority. And these things may not appeal to them. That's why they are cribbing. They are thinking that they should or our alliance partner should deviate from the main focus and worry about them. But it will not happen. As I said, they are eyeing our paradise. Please do not do that, because you will get nothing out of this.
Okay.
The only thing you will get is a disappointment. You want to remain disappointed? You want to remain disappointed? Please be disappointed, but nothing will happen.
Okay, 30 seconds. I'm running out of time. Ashpreet, make it as quick.
Please, my question to the Bharatiya Janata Party is Mr. Modi afraid of the fact that kal Mr. Nitish Kumar might say, "Hum aapke hain kaun," and shift allegiance, because he has done that 6 times before?
Ashpreet, why is the Congress or the Shiv Sena UBT today trying to send feelers to the JDU or the TDP? It's almost as if you're trying to incite those ambitions.
Oh, it's already there. It's very much there. Like I said, I asked him a question, will you reconsider Agniveer's scheme or not? Because his ally has. The Bharatiya Janata Party's ally has questioned it. This was there.
But when is the BJP state firm on the fact that they're not open to reviewing the Agniveer scheme? I don't think the BJP said that. Mr. Zafar Islam.
No, UCC, the Agniveer, they have.
No, I'm saying that why he's worried. Why is he worried? You worry about yourself, about your party, about. अरे 8,500 देना शुरू करो.
ये रिश्ता क्या कहलाता है?
8,500 दीजिए.
Okay, let's end with the BJP national spokesperson. It's important to once again go back to the drawing board and ask that one question, sir. One question that continues to be asked is what has been key in deciding this cabinet? Is it continuity? Because many say it doesn't show change. For example, the finance ministry, there are several challenges, though Nirmala Sitharaman in her first tenure as the finance minister, did an exceptional job, especially given, a pandemic that hit the entire world. There were geopolitical tensions, but there are sore issues that are going to be needed a strong addressal this time around. And then, of course, there's, a lot of tension between certain states and the center with regards to how resources are being dispatched. So those are questions that continue to be asked as well. Repetitions, in that sense, are something that one sees as a launchpad of raising those questions. Mr. Zafar Islam, to quickly end with you, 30 seconds.
See, there are two things which I would say. That first of all the opposition parties, they are thinking that they will get support from alliance partner, or they are trying to. But they don't understand that there is one family which actually working on a very, very dedicated agenda which has been finalized in consultation with these alliance partner. So we are not overly concerned what they think, what they don't think. For us, they are irrelevant. For us, people are important. They need to distribute 8,500 to every individual they have committed. I think they should focus on that, because people didn't buy their argument. People didn't support them. We are a family. We are working together. It's a coalition government. We understand the coalition politics. We respect the coalition and
A
dharma.
family
We
never
follow the
has to
coalition
say
dharma.
that we are a
We
family.
respect
A
our
family
allied
never
partners.
has to say it so many
Okay,
times that we are a
so
family.
disaster response
your
mechanism
family, your
will
family,
be
you draw
thrusted
strength
upon
from 10
when the
Janpath.
storm
You
comes
draw
knocking.
strength
That's
from
what
10
Mr.
Janpath,
Zafar
you do not
Islam
draw
is saying
strength
right now.
from-
There's no need to panic, Ashpreet. For the Congress party or the Sena UBT, everybody is intact, everybody is
BJP is
happy.
panicking.
It's a happy family picture that's coming out time and again. So let's wait and watch whether or not there are any changes to that family portrait. Ashpreet, Mr. Said Zafar Islam, Anoop, and thank you Sanjay Kumar for joining us this evening. We head into a very quick break. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with the next big focus. After a short break, Kannada actor Darshan has been arrested. Will the investigation reveal a bigger plot? What's really going on as far as the probe is concerned? We'll tell you everything in just a bit.
These states, I think, are at a top concern level for the BJP. What really has gone wrong here? Has the caste dynamic worked against the BJP in UP, and have the Maharashtra, the allies, not been able to pull alongside the BJP with the sympathy maybe lying with Sharad Pawar and the Uddhav Thackeray factions of the NCP and the Shiv Sena respectively? So these are serious concerns, and now we'll also see, Toya, a new BJP president being appointed, so especially after Mr. JP Nadda has now moved to the Union Council of Ministers as the Health Minister. So we have a new BJP president in the offing. Who that person will be amidst these challenges, and also who will be his new team. So there could be new state presidents of the BJP in, for example, in West Bengal, where the state in charge has become the Union Council has joined the Union Council of Ministers. There will be a new state in charge in Gujarat as well. We have a new chief minister coming up in Odisha of the BJP. So obviously, a lot of changes in the BJP will be seen, and I think the key concern for the BJP and the top priority of the BJP is now the 3 to 4 state elections, which are happening in the next 4 months or so. Jammu and Kashmir is going to go to elections. Similarly, the state of Haryana is going to elections. Maharashtra is going to elections. We will also see Delhi elections at the early next year in January. So all these states are going to be top priority. BJP wants to perform well and not, send out a message that's still very much in the reckoning and hold on to these power in these states. That would be the key for the BJP.
Aman, can we ask you to stay with us? We'll keep returning to you for your analysis. Right now, let's take a look at what each of these leaders had to say. S. Shankar, as he was coming into his position, as he was walking into the External Affairs Ministry, he gave this interview to the press about what his priorities will be. Take a look.
You can see that we began the day of swearing in with a neighborhood first affirmation. कि हमारे जो पड़ोसी जो हैं सब लोग आए और प्रधानमंत्री खुद उनसे मिले परसों. Yesterday I had met individually called on all the visiting dignitaries, and I can tell you they are leaving with a sense that our neighboring relationships will be the first priority, will be the overriding priority of the Modi government, and that is as it should be.
प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी को भारत ने एक बार फिर आशीर्वाद देकर देशवासियों की सेवा का जो एक मौका दिया है, उसमें रेलवे का बहुत बड़ा एक रोल रहेगा. आप जैसा जानते हैं, पिछले 10 वर्षों में प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने रेलवे में बहुत बड़े सुधार किए हैं. रेलवे का इलेक्ट्रिफिकेशन हो, नई पटरियां बनानी, नए तरह की ट्रेन्स लानी, स्टेशंस का रीडेवलपमेंट, ये 10 वर्षों की प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी की बड़ी उपलब्धियां हैं. और रेलवे को एक इसलिए फोकस पे रखा है प्रधानमंत्री जी ने, क्योंकि रेलवे साधारण नागरिकों की, आम नागरिकों की सवारी है.
Yesterday evening portfolio allocation finally took place, so we can share with you the details of which leaders have just taken leadership. Because remember, as of just a
Welcome back. Our next big focus is the investigation that continues in a murder case that's come to light. Why is this most questionable? Because there's involvement of a popular Kannada actor as well. Darshan has been arrested by Bengaluru police over his alleged connection with a murder case. The 47-year-old was earlier taken into police custody in connection with the murder of an individual identified as Renuka Swamy from Karnataka's Chitradurga, whose body was found on Sunday. So all of this goes back to Sunday. The preliminary investigations reveal that Renuka Swamy had sent obscene messages to the actor's close friend Pavitra Gowda. Police are currently questioning more than 10 individuals. CCTV, remember, is also being examined. The victim has been identified as Renuka Swamy from Chitradurga as per the Bengaluru police. In the meanwhile, CNN News 18 has accessed CCTV footage as well, showing Darshan and his aides attempt a cover-up. On the 9th of June, Darshan's aides were seen carrying the body in a Scorpio vehicle, seen in the footage as well. And that's one of your visuals on the screens. And you can see how Darshan's car is tailing this Scorpio. That's what makes it most suspicious. Before I open this up with our experts joining us this evening, it's a story that everybody's got their eyes on really as far as the actor's involvement is concerned, and several of his aides as well now under police radar. Harish joins us with the latest. Harish, quickly sum up the investigations for us and what does this mean for the Kannada actor?
Well, definitely for Darshan, this means quite some time behind bars, even before he can attempt to get a bail. Right now, he's been produced along with 12 others in front of the magistrate. The police are seeking 14 days custody of all of them to further probe this investigation. But they are saying that there is solid evidence. One, technical evidence to prove that Darshan was at the spot where this man was being assaulted. Tower location of his mobile phone indicates he was at the shed. There is a CCTV footage showing cars linked to Darshan going to dump this body. The statements of some of the accused is very clear that they had done this crime at the behest of Darshan and Pavitra Gowda's instructions, and also calls that have gone in from Darshan's number to some of these accused constantly in the run-up to this man being abducted and finally assaulted and murdered. So the police are saying that they have solid evidence to get...
Okay, solid evidence. But Harish, quickly, before I let you go, what do we know about the victim in this case, and what was the intent that the victim had really in sending out those alleged abusive posts to Pavitra Gowda?
Well, so far nothing to indicate that this is anything apart from online harassment. What we do understand is that this person was working at a pharmacy in Chitradurga, and he was posting some of these comments on Pavitra Gowda's social media page. Nothing else to suggest that these two had met earlier or there was prior enmity or anything as such. This seems to be a case of online harassment and an actor taking it too far and killing somebody.
Okay, all right, Harish, many thanks. We'll keep coming back to you. We need to quickly open this up, but here's the big question. Darshan's been arrested. There are several other details now emerging with the top Kannada actor already in the middle of this investigation. Is there more that could come out through the course of the probe? Will the probe bring out a bigger plot? Let's quickly open this up with our experts joining us this evening. We have Bhaskar, our former Commissioner, Bangalore City, with us. We also have with us Brinda Adige, activist, along with Ashutosh Srivastav, lawyer, who completes the panel. Our experts are now trying to decode this entire case for us and what this really means going forward. I want to first up start with Mr. Bhaskara. Mr. Bhaskara, what does the story so far that's come to light tell you? Because here's an actor, a very famous one at that, given some sort of an online harassment and abuse, was compelled to team up with these men and commit a murder most foul. This is so very dangerous given the kind of following these people enjoy, sir.
See, a case has already been registered in Annapurneshwari Nagar, Bangalore City, under section 302, 201 and read with 34 IPC. 302 is murder, 201 is concealing evidence, and then 34 means common intention. Means this is a very brazen act of a high-profile hero who picks up a person from Chitradurga, gets his goons to Bangalore, then they are taken to a warehouse where he is brutally assaulted with blunt objects. Then after he is killed, then his body is disposed of. No doubt the victim has committed a crime under the IT Act. They have not chosen to approach the law enforcement agencies, but they have chosen to take the law into their own hands. There is murder also has been committed in such a way that they have left a lot of trail of evidence. CCTV footages are available, mobile phone tower locations are available, and then the more number of people you have in common intention, the more likelihood of the evidence is not matching, because 161 statement is going to be collected, and a lot of statements of corroborative evidence is also going to be collected. The fact of the matter is that all this has to be stitched together, and the investigating officer must ensure and not come under any kind of pressure to tone down the value of the case. Earlier also, this actor was held for assaulting his wife very, very badly, but that case has already been buried. So this case, which is being watched by a lot of people, and these high-profile actors have a lot of fans.
Yes.
And these fans are ready to do anything for them. But only thing is that the police has to do a very professional job of collecting different kinds
because
of
Bhaskar
evidence.
Rao ji, exercise of influence is something that many question a lot of times, and that's something that has been said by those who've been at the receiving end, the victims' families, for example, in this case. But I want to quickly bring in Brinda as well. Brinda, we've been discussing, the exercise of influence, so on and so forth. But Mr. Bhaskar Rao is absolutely right in pointing out how a famous man or woman can actually instruct people to go and commit murders, and the kind of precedent that sets is so very dangerous, isn't it? I mean, you have somebody who's, for example, trolled someone online or harassed someone online. Instead of seeking legal recourse, this is what very well-known famous people are doing. That's dangerous a pattern.
You're absolutely right. It is a dangerous trend. It is an absolutely wrong trend to be set by people who have a very, very large fan following. Because you see these people on the reel, and in the reel they perform whatever it is that is the script and the hero. They assume that the same can be done in real life and that they can get away with it. See, that is the big danger. The fact that somebody has been trolling them online and there is no respect for law, because whatever the other person has done, we are not condoning it. But you could have gone to the police, you could have registered a case, and due course of action would have been taken against that perpetrator. Instead, there is this toxic masculinity that I have my fans who will do anything for me. I will go with them, I will teach a lesson to him. And now that man has lost his life. And after that, trying to dispose of all evidence. Now, if punishment is not meted out to this powerful person because of the kind of stature that he portrays in the society, in the community, the law will not be respected by anybody. There will not be any fear of law. This impunity will become part of a fashion because this man is also an actor. And like Mr. Bhaskar mentioned, he has a huge fan following. And even the earlier time when when there was a case of domestic violence and assault on his wife, the case kind of died down because of the fan frenzy. This is something that the police must not buckle down.
Perhaps an indirect pressure of sorts that was felt, and that's why an out-of-court settlement was seen, if we talk about that particular incident. But the fact of the matter is that here's an actor, very popular actor, lots of followers, and that's very clear on social media. He's had several run-ins with law. Speaking of law, Ashutosh ji, do you think we're seeing a watertight case in this particular incident so far? Also, how much trouble does this really mean for the actor, for the accused in this case? Because there are others involved as well, and these CCTV visuals make it very clear that there is clear involvement of the actor.
See, first of all, the matter is under investigation and the police is investigating it. And, people have faith that the police will be doing a fair investigation in this matter. Now, merely that he has been arrested, it doesn't mean that anything has been proven as of now. It is under investigation. The police will come to a conclusion if he had any role to play in this murder or alleged murder, I would say. See, I understand that during the course of investigation, the statements will be taken from many witnesses, and then only the police will come to a conclusion, and whether these statements match and corroborate with the evidences available. And also, it will come when the charge sheet is filed by the police after the investigation is complete. what role has been attributed by this actor in this entire
But
issue.
Ashutosh ji, have
Whether
you been
he
able to follow his past cases? You know, he's found himself in
no
legal
see
trouble on multiple occasions, an out-of-court settlement. He also
okay
assaulted a
see
waiter
as of
back in
I
2021. How has he managed to escape law each and every
so
time?
See, as of now, what I understand by he has gone through the proper legal proceedings in all the previous cases as well. But so far as I know, he has not been convicted of any crime as such as of now. See, the when see arrest is what arrest here is only to do the investigation so that a person who is arrested doesn't go out and tamper with the evidences any further. And also in the police custodial remand, the police will have the liberty to ask him all the questions, and these questions when asked and the answers which will be written by them in the form of statements will not be tampered by any outsider. This is what is the basic idea of arresting anybody for
Okay.
during the course of investigation.
Okay.
Now everything will be submitted before the court, and then only the trial will take place. So basically, we have to see what comes in the charge sheet. Is there any concrete, evidence against him or not? As of now, it is under investigation.
Okay. Speaking of investigation, Bhaskar ji, would you want to quickly
Yeah,
comment on
I'll
that? Do
tell
you
you
think the
something.
investigation's on the right track? Because you know what Brinda was saying is concerning here.
Let me
These
tell-
kind
let
of
me tell-
people also get emboldened in a sense by the manner in which they've been able to escape the law time and again, and that's what perhaps makes them feel so confident of taking it a step further.
See, let me tell you. See, now the next thing is that what kind of remand application the police are going to put up? Is it a weak remand application? Will he get bail very
But
easy?
of the evidence so far,
See, no, it all depends upon what kind of remand. I mean, remand means
Okay.
to ensure that he stays in judicial custody
Okay.
as long as possible over there,
Okay.
so that he will not be able to interfere.
okay, it all
in
really
the
comes down to what the police are able to find out, concrete evidence on the table. Many thanks, gentlemen and Brinda, for speaking to us. I'll have to cut you short because we need to quickly shift our attention to a breaking news update coming in. So quickly putting out the details. The Prime Minister has posted on Modi Ka Parivar campaign. Remember, a campaign of the BJP in the run-up to the 2024 Lok Sabha elections. He says, through the election campaign, people across India added Modi Ka Parivar to their social media handles as a mark of affection towards me. I derived a lot of strength from the same. The people of India have given the NDA a majority for the third consecutive time, a record of sorts, and have given us the mandate to keep working for the betterment of our nation. With the message of all of us being one family having been effectively conveyed, I would once again thank the people of India and request that you may now remove Modi Ka Parivar from your social media properties. So an appeal of sorts coming in from the Prime Minister, also thanking everybody who in fact put Modi Ka Parivar right ahead of their names on their social media handles. He says the display name may change, but our bond as one Parivar striving for India's progress remains strong and unbroken. Remember, the Prime Minister has time and again said that the entire nation is his one big family, and that's what he continues to work towards. Well, we come to the end of this edition. On the other side, Rahul Shivshankar joins you. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Co-powered by.
Each of these ministers have walked into their ministries to take charge for the first time. Now, what were the patterns we saw in the portfolio allocation that took place yesterday evening? The number one biggest pattern, continuity, was the name of the game. So, in each of the key ministries, so we're talking about the Raisina Hill ministries, the Defence Ministry, the Home Ministry, the External Affairs Ministry, even the Finance Ministry, you got to see that continuation. The same leaders, the same politicians who'd headed those ministries in the last regime continuing to head them right now. Now, what are the visuals we're showing you? As we told you a few minutes ago, each of these leaders have just taken charge of their ministries. On the left side, you can see External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar. He's a former bureaucrat, a diplomat who stepped into this position in the last cabinet. He's continuing. In the center, you can see Ashwini Vaishnav. Ashwini Vaishnav is now going to be heading the Railways Ministry. It's important to point out he'd headed the Railway Ministry before. He's had more charges added underneath him. him, though this time he'll also be heading the INB, the Information and Broadcasting Ministry, which otherwise came underneath Anurag Thakur. That's now going to be underneath Ashwini Vaishnav. Ashwini Vaishnav, also a bureaucrat who's stepped into this position over the last few years, but someone who does carry an engineering degree with him. He'll be bringing that expertise into this ministry. And on the right side, you have the Environment Minister Bhupendra Yadav taking charge of his ministry. All of that, as we told you, taking place in these next few minutes. Amit Shah, the Home Minister, expected to take charge at around 12. We're going to continue to focus on all of these visuals, all of these developments as they're happening on the ground right now. Now, the other interesting question going into this is, of course, how the BJP has handled their allies. How have they balanced this coalition with their allies? Remember, the TDP, the JDU, these are the bigger stakeholders in the alliance partners, though they, of course, have a number of other alliance partners. What ministries did they choose to give them, and how did they balance it out? The NDA allies, let's talk about it for a second. Aviation Ministry, Panchayati Raj have been given. Okay, the visuals we're looking at right now, as we told you a little while earlier that we would be showing you at every second the updates coming in of different leaders taking charge across their different ministries. The visuals you're looking at right now of Hardeep Singh Puri. Hardeep Singh Puri taking charge, as you can see over here, of his ministry. These are going to be visuals we keep bringing you with, of course, added context. Over the next few minutes, we'll have reporters joining us. My colleague Aman joins us right now. Hardeep Singh Puri is returning as the Minister of Petroleum and Natural Gas. So, as you can see, he's taking charge of the ministry right now. Let's go over to our colleague Aman. Aman, let's just talk a little bit about Hardeep Singh Puri's work in this ministry for a second, please. This is a very, very important ministry in terms of the resources that this minister is looking over. Just tell us a little bit about what his stint as the minister in the last regime looked like. Tell us a little bit about the continuity plans too, please.
Well, Hardeep Puri is retaining his petroleum and natural gas ministry, as he was in the earlier term. One of his ministries, housing, has gone away to another minister, but the key ministry of petroleum and natural gas is being held by Mr. Hardeep Puri. And, in the last Modi 2.0 government, a big issue was the price of the LPG cylinders. So it was towards the end when the Modi government decided to slash the
News 18 and Federal Bank Primetime Studio.
You're with the hard facts from the CNN News 18 Federal Bank Primetime Studios. Viewers, just as the NDA got down to work, the RSS chief and the RSS both began a process of reflecting on the verdict delivered by the voter. The RSS manthan, so to speak, follows an agonizing post-mortem that has been going on in saffron circles since result day, June 4th. The party led by Modi, who created history by equaling Nehru's record by returning to power in an alliance for an unprecedented third consecutive time, is clearly not happy with falling short of the standards it set for itself. The RSS chief, Mohan Bhagwat, has offered a reason by seeming to indicate that the saffron party, led by Narendra Modi, may have got afflicted by hubris. Bhagwat pointed out that a person committed to serving the public never puts himself above and beyond the call to duty, and especially not beyond the aspirations of the voter. While it's not clear, viewers, exactly who he was addressing, the Prime Minister, BJP cadre, or a combination of both, or perhaps, viewers, the opposition, many people have chose to interpret this as a direct message for the BJP. Listen in for yourself.
कामों से अपने आप को बांध ले, कर्तव्य समझकर करे, लेकिन बांधकर भी निर्बंधा रहे, काम करे, लेकिन मैंने किया ये अहंकार न पाले, तो हम इस देश की सच्ची सेवा कर रहे ऐसा होगा। और अपने देश को हम सब लोगों के सच्चे सेवा